Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hey, what's happening, family? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On today's conversation, Stephen A. Smith, he's always on the bad side of I guess, how can I put it? Is there ever positive news when you bring up Stephen A. Smith? I mean, and look, I give the man credit because I'm a Stephen A. Smith fan. I know a lot of folks, Stephen A. Smith really annoys a lot of people, okay? But I like him. I like him because he speaks what's on his mind. He's curious. That's how I look at his conversations, right? His opinion pieces. It is curious. It's out of curiosity. I don't really think he's trying to offend or piss off people. I think he's just flat out like asking a question. But hey, folks really don't like Stephen A. Smith. And look, there's times I disagree with him. I've shared it here on the show. I'm actually going to share a story with him today, but we're going to talk about Stephen A. Smith. We're also going to discuss former Congresswoman out of Virginia, Elaine Luria, making a comeback to Congress, which you rarely see that. You rarely see folks make a comeback to Congress. Well, I guess not. I mean, Cori Bush wants to make another comeback to Congress. She was one of the squad members. I guess she thinks based on the Mamdani win, there's even a bigger chance of her really coming back into the political game. Now, she had made the announcement at the time that she was running for Congress or wanting to win back her seat. This was before Mamdani had won, but he was becoming a popular figure in New York City. So you got Elaine Luria making a political comeback. You have what else we had on the chopping block? We have a San Francisco Muni driver falling asleep on the job. Yikes. I understand when folks work long hours, but when you know the kind of job you have, you can't be falling asleep on a job. I don't care if you're a bank teller, any job you don't want to fall asleep on the job, right? Is that like a liable for suspension? Maybe even losing their job? Like that's a lot. And we have a lot more other things here on the Arrington Gavin Show to discuss. So as always, thank you so much, my friends, for taking 1 hour of your time to tune into yet another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. For those who are watching us on YouTube right now, do me a favor, like, subscribe, share with a friend, share with family. I truly appreciate it. Make sure to give us a thumbs up. If you don't like what I'm saying and give me a thumbs down, well, hey, at least you're watching us. I appreciate it because best believe I have folks that are probably not fans of my viewpoints, especially when it comes to politics. Look, I say it like this. I ride in the middle. Okay. I am a independent. Now, if you ask me, Arrington, what's your take on Trump? I don't think he is the candidate to help bring the country together. You can choose any other Republican candidate, in my opinion. I'm just not the biggest fan of Trump, but that doesn't mean I'm all the way left either. There's some folks in the left that I just truly believe that does not need to be in office whatsoever. I cannot stand the strategy. I don't like the fact that they waste folks' times like they did with this freaking shutdown that just happened. They stretched it out and left with absolutely zero, nada, nothing. Okay, so I understand the frustration, but also I understand at some point that in office, working, being a public official, it's about negotiation, right? It's about negotiation, X, Y, and Z. But recently, man, it was just they've been taking those L's. You know what I mean? Excuse me. And so, yes, we have a lot of things to discuss on today's program. As always, my friends, I mentioned YouTube. You can also check us out by watching us on Goatverse TV. That's right, Goatverse TV. If you have not downloaded the app yet, please do so. What are you waiting for? Download the app. It's available on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. You can also watch us on Facebook, as well as you can listen to us on the go wherever you get your podcasts. We're available on all major podcast platforms. You can also watch us, listen to us on the radio airwaves. That's right. First up, you can listen to us in New Orleans. Shout out to our fam out there, WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about, as well as I believe 107.1 FM, all WBOK media. So multiple ways you can tune into the Arrington Gavin show. You can listen to us at 7 p.m. Central Time. Again, that's on WBOK Media, 12 WBOK 1230 AM, as well as 107.7 FM. That's right, my friends. That's right. Then I'll also move it on by move it on to the Metro Atlanta area to WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin show weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's again only on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. And then lastly, doing a schedule change here. So Afro Vibes Radio out in the Houston, Texas area, right? We originally started weekly, weekly Saturdays at noon Central Time. This time we are moving on. We have a new day. You can listen to the Arrington Gavin show on Afro Vibes Radio Mondays at 12 p.m. Central Time. That's right. We're moving to weekdays. We're leaving the weekends. We're moving to weekdays. Mondays, 12 p.m. Central Time, only on Afro Vibes Radio. I truly appreciate that, my friends. All right. So now that we've said all of that, let's go ahead. You know the tradition we've been doing here. Let's go ahead and share our very popular and favorite segment. What role is it and why is it important? So before we head to a commercial break, we always love to discuss a political position that maybe some folks are unaware of. Some folks are probably very aware of, but we like to continue the educating our listeners, our viewers, because when it comes to the positions involved in public office, not all of us are aware of those positions. Local, all right. We got three branches: executive, judicial, and executive, legislative, and judicial. Whether if it's local government, state government, or federal government. Now, we are currently in the federal government portion of it. We've graduated out of the judicial branch. Now we're in the legislative branch. So our position today, we're going to discuss U.S. House of Representatives. So fun, just a fact that it'll be good to know if anybody ever asks you. Actually, I have a friend that is studying to become a U.S. citizen, and she has given me some questions, which I will share some here. Once we finish this full segment, I will start sharing some of those questions with you all, just again to be aware of, because I'll be honest, I'm a born U.S. citizen. And some of them things, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I knew that one. Did I know that one? Did I know? Look, we all don't know some of these stuff. So it's good to just continue to educate ourselves with that. So U.S. House of Representative, there is around 435 members based on population. There's 435 members of the House of Representatives, which is also Congress. They propose revenue bills, or tax bills, initiates impeachment proceedings, passes federal legislations with the Senate, the U.S. Senate. So you got the U.S. Senate and the U.S. Congress, two powerful positions. I look at it as powerful positions. Why? Because folks are always asked, who has the power here? Does the president have the power? Does the Congress have the power? Does the Senate? Who has the power? Well, for one, us, the people, have the power. The people has the power because we have the power to elect and vote these folks in office. Okay, we have the power to elect and vote these folks in office. And so that's firsthand is, we have the power for that. We have the power of that. But in my opinion, yes, the president serves the highest. They are the leader of the free world. They represent the country, the US. They have a huge responsibility. But listen, let's remember here, stuff needs to get passed in the House and in Congress. And if any of that stuff doesn't get passed, does the president have, the power? Do they have a certain authority? I mean, I'm just always curious. It's like they're the ones that, I mean, we see it with the governor's position. I mean, governors have, the power to do X, Y, and Z, and sometimes they might have the last saying, and they can use their authority over certain things that they can use over Congress and Senate. But I don't know, man. It's difficult. It's difficult because everything is on a voting scale, right? The majority rules kind of thing. So that's just my 2 cents there. So the position that we just spoke about, U.S. House of Representative, which is in the legislative branch of the federal government. Again, 435 members in your U.S. House of Representative, which is same for Congress. So you're welcome. You're welcome, my friends. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, we'll have more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more here on the Arrington Gavin Show.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story. Crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs. And we're going to bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up. Yeah, this that new Goldverse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of the app he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
What is happening, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your guy, Arrington Gavin. Look here. I would love to I gotta talk about this. And I think it's quite interesting. Why? Because it's something that I don't think a lot of residents, voters are aware of. I want to talk about pay raises for elected officials, folks that are in public office, specifically local school board, right? Now, I'll be honest. I know the importance of having a school board in a local city, because school boards, they oversee your public school systems, where, the whole 9 yards, whether if it's funding or new initiatives or certain school rules. They have a massive position. And I add on to explain why they have a massive position is because when you go to look at property value, right? A lot of what helps raises property value is the kind of school district you're in. I know this for a fact because I have a lot of friends that work in real estate. They say, first thing consumers or folks will ask is whether they're parents or just a husband and wife. How's the school district? Because whether they want to bring their, they're wanting to bring their child to the school district or raise a child and entering the school system in their area. So school boards are pretty, they're important roles. A story had went public recently in the city of Norfolk, located in Virginia, Hampton Roads, Virginia area 757. And it made headway because the Norfolk School Board is considering over 700% salary increase for board members, moving their current price, their current pay at $3,060 to $25,000, and the chair from $5,100 to $27,000. I'm bringing this up, y'all, because look, the Arrington Gavin Show can be heard not just in the state of Virginia. We're heard all across the nation, really. I mean, when you look at the streaming platforms that we're on, and the different radio stations that we're on, YouTube, like we have quite a large presence, but we want to continue to grow. I mean, I'm not being greedy or anything, but I want to have the opportunity to talk with everybody. I want to have the opportunity to talk with everybody. And so I thought this was a great conversation to share with you all, because to us, and I'm being honest, some of us assume that these politicians are celebrities. They're not. And if they act like it, shame on them, because they're public servants. They're here to work for us, the people. Okay. So don't be scared. Don't be alarmed if you might see an elected official in your grocery store or just minding their business. It doesn't hurt to just say, go up to them, talk with them in a respectable manner, not say, hey, you. No, be respectable. Be respectful. Excuse me, not respectable. Be respectful. And just introduce yourself. That's how you build a relationship, and that's how you can help build a relationship between your elected, your local government and the community. Now it's up to the officials to stay engaged with the community, because hey, they have an objective. If I have clients that I want to make sure I continue to satisfy 24/7, it's up to me to continue to check up on them from time to time. Follow-ups, right? So let me go ahead and play you this right here, and we'll talk on the other side.
A proposed resolution brought up tonight by the Norfolk School Board would drastically increase board member salaries. Derek Lytle spoke with the board's chair following the meeting. And Derek, you say these increases could be as much as 700%, right? From just over 3,000 to 25,000.
Yeah, Dana, it's that ask that the Norfolk School Board chair told me that is overdue. And she believes a lack of pay is preventing them from doing their job at the highest level. And she says people living in Norfolk, if they're not on board, they have the power to vote them out.
People talk about a 700% increase. Our stipends were $3,000 a year and $5,100 for the chair.
The Norfolk School Board chair says the low pay is not level with the high amount of hours they put in. She says board members are working second jobs and are not able to put in a complete effort to serve at the current pay rate.
Although there isn't conclusive research to suggest that this is a hindrance for people serving, it is a hindrance for people serving.
She says they looked at other city board pay scales. Virginia Beach, $20,000 for board members, $22,000 for their chair. Newport News, $15,000 for board members, $17,000 for their chair. Yet Norfolk's ask of $25,000 for board and $27,000 for the chair would be higher. Additionally, she believes they are owed the same as Norfolk City Council members.
We also looked at what City Council was being compensated at, and our resolution brings us up to be in line with City Council.
A member of the Norfolk community, Kate Powell, saw 13 News Now's publishing of tonight's discussion and came to the meeting to speak out.
You see something as a citizen like 700% increase in any budget.
Powell agrees. She believes paying an increase will support better involvement. However, that could have happened gradually instead of all at once.
On public service, on top of maybe another job or raising a family or whatnot, is it worth it in the long run?
With declining enrollment and schools closing, time will tell what people living in Norfolk think of this more than 700% increase asked by the Norfolk School Board.
Welcome the community's feedback. If they don't think we deserve it, that's okay. Vote us out.
Another board chair tells me the Norfolk School Board has never seen an increase, and they will take a next step by voting on it at a business meeting in December. Derek Lytle, 13 News Now.
So I thought this was very interesting. I have I know a few folks. I consider them dear. One of my dear friends who had served on Norfolk School Board, who's currently now in City Council. Carlos Clanton. Shout out to my main man Carlos. I wasn't aware of how much they were making. And just while they were talking, I was looking up the amount of hours that they put in here. So this is National Survey, NSBA, in a 2018 survey, about 16% of school board members say they spend more than 40 hours a month on board work. Okay, another 24% said they spend 25 to 40 hours a month. Then there's 28% spend 15 to 24 hours. They say, okay, district size matter. So in large school districts, board members often devoted 40 plus hours per month. Okay. Now they say that this is in the Montgomery County, Maryland. Board members reported spending on average 40 hours a week on board duties, and sometimes more than 60 hours a week in busy periods. So it varies, but at the end of the day, I look at it like this: the amount of money that's spent on campaigns. Now, sometimes if it's grassroots, it requires a lot of priorities, a lot of time, a lot of funding, right? Because signage, time out of your job to share with the public why they should vote you in school board. Like it's a big role. And I also agree that they should make close to neck and neck of the city council. Now, I understand city council is it's a level up, so maybe not close, but close to it. But you look at certain cities, the amount of public schools that they have, I'm including elementary, junior high, high school. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of pressure on them. And see, it's the amount of work and hours that they put in, I would say, is in comparison to city council members. So I think everyone was looking at, wait a minute, 700% increase. A lot of folks will spawn, playing a little devil's advocate is like, okay, where's the pay raise for the teachers? I get that. I think teachers deserve 20 times more than what they're getting paid now. So you can look at that as kind of like some baggage that the school board members will be facing, because they get to have they get to have an increase in pay, a large pay increase compared to, okay, how much is your teachers making? But let's be honest. Teachers make more money currently than a school board member. If a school board member, the chairwoman, if they're making $5,100, yeah, school teachers are making more. They deserve more, but so does the school board member. So I get it, but you also got to look at hours too. I don't want people to get offended. You also got to look on the amount of hours a school teacher puts in, more hours than a school board member. But again, it all varies. It all varies, y'all. It all varies. But I'm my question to you all is, or I guess a homework assignment. If you have free time, go visit your local school boards, or maybe just look up how much your local school board members are making. Just out of curiosity, because I never knew, because I don't ask. I don't ask how much council members are making, or elected officials. I don't. Honestly, I don't care how much they make. I'm all about, like, what are they doing for the community, and what work have they been putting in. But sometimes it is beneficial to see how much they're making. Sometimes you just out of curious, okay, what line of work do they come from? What is their what is their net worth? So, you want to kind of do background checks on your elected officials. And it's funny that I came across a story, because the lady that they interviewed, Kate Powell, is a well-known, I'll say worldwide known, political influencer who will be a guest on the show very soon. So I can't wait to bring her on. And it's sidebar, it's funny how we even how I even found out about this Miss Kate Powell, because I didn't know she was even local. She has a very large social media following on Instagram, and she's very engaged and keeps folks very afloat what's happening in the world of politics on a local, state, and even federal level. So I'm excited to have her on. I'm a fan of hers, and finding out that she was interviewed and put this together was very interesting. So let me go ahead and fast forward to this story, y'all, and let me share this soundbite here, which was quite disturbing here. But let me go ahead and play this, and I'll I'll explain exactly, for those who are listening. I'll explain what you just been listening to, and then for those who are watching, I'll pretty much do the same thing.
These young women in this country have become a very scary demographic. 84% of young women in New York voted for Mamdani. They voted to make the city dramatically less safe for themselves.
There is a young woman problem. And I think the question is, how do you bring young people in? And I have a theory, by the way. If I was leading the conservative movement, I would say encourage marriage early. You'll get more conservative young women.
If you want to go get young women and you want to convince them because they've all gone insane, young women are actually insane in this country.
The figure you don't have that's the scariest is 66% of Democrats now have a favorable view of socialism. And if you skew that to the young, it's much bigger than that. Yeah. Over 80% of young women in New York City voted for Mamdani.
Young American women are very much far left, and they are buying into all of that. But they have been since, some of them since they were young little girls. Yeah, I find that very frightening.
One of the demographic groups that Republicans, have traditionally struggled with, female voters, 18 to 29, 84% voted for Mamdani, 79% voted Spanberger, 81% for Mikey Sherrill. What the heck is going on with female voters, especially young female voters?
There is a, surge of conservatism, but it's with American young men. There is a huge gender gap when it comes to politics. I'm not surprised at all that young women went incredibly left. I think that young women, it is said, are the most left-wing group in history. And so that just means I have more work to do.
Mercedes, young women in this country have become a very scary.
Okay, so right-wing media always has a it always is very comical when they pull up certain stats. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not a person that's always looking at stats. I do share it here on the show because there are stats that are accurate, and this is probably an accurate thing. I'm not saying it's a lie that young women lean left. I think in general, women lean mostly left. You remember during the presidential election, they made commercials of women going to the polls, listening to their husbands on who to vote for, and then when they go behind that wall, or in private, and they place their vote, they vote the total opposite. I do think that is quite accurate, but to say like the one anchor or report, I don't even call her a reporter, the one personality on Fox that said, in order to stop that, young women need to get married younger and then they'll turn more conservative. Wait, what? So marriage makes people more conservative? Like, what world are we living in now, y'all? Young women that get married young turn out to be more conservative. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Y'all have to explain it for me, because I can sometimes be a little slow here and there, but that I don't get that at all. As far as for the Mom Donnie thing, because everybody's still so, oh my gosh, Mom Donnie, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Here's the thing, and it's very simple. Folks wanted a new face. They wanted someone new that wasn't in the traditional Democratic field. Okay, Andrew Cuomo, he been in New York politics before. They want somebody new. Curtis Lewa, he's been involved in New York politics forever. They wanted somebody new. This man, Zohran Mamdani's 33 years old. He's still getting his feet wet in politics. They wanted a new freaking face. The fact that he's a socialist, yes, he is a socialist. There's things that I don't agree with him. Like, for example, oh God, raise taxes, right? I wrote it down so I can remember. Raise taxes. In the past, he made some anti-police comments I totally don't agree with at all. He also talked about city-owned grocery stores. Yeah, it sounds good, but everything, it's easier said than done. He has a lot of easier said than done policies, and I think that's why it wasn't the fact that I wasn't a fan of Mamdani. I think there's things that I don't agree with him, but I am a believer on putting new faces and new voices in the line of politics and seeing where it goes. The fact that the majority of New York City, which is it's a very liberal city, but majority of New York City, they wanted Zohran Mamdani since day one. His polling numbers stayed. He was leading since day one, before the primaries. Okay, so there was something that was attractive for them that they wanted to choose him for. They wanted somebody new. I personally think that was something that benefited Trump when he first ran for office. He was not a politician at the time. He was not. He was a controversial reality star that comes across with this characteristic, to come with this character as, hey, I'm the wealthiest man in America. I have gold this, gold that. I have the young hot wife. Everybody loves me. You're fired. You're hired. You're hired. And you're fired. Oh, by the way, I used to own casinos. I used to own, what else did I own? I own pro football teams. All right. And now I want to become president of the United States because I want to rule the world. All right. Okay. Because it's time to make America great again. There was a time when it was great, but I'm going to make it greater again. All right. Okay. So what Trump did, he was somebody that was out of the norm for politics. So in addition to him being controversial, because he laid out an avenue for those controversial figures to feel more open and say, oh well, if he can say this, maybe now I can be offensive and say all this other crap. And now you see what's happening. The world has gone to crap. All right, because of that. But in addition to all of that, he was a newcomer to politics. So going on Mamdani, I don't think Mamdani is the future of the Democratic movement. I think he's a trial and error kind of person. They're seeing what sticks. The Democratic Party sees himself in a losing field, and I spoke about the Congresswoman out of Pennsylvania, Summer Lee, who said the traditional leadership, they can't match up with the MAGA right. And so you look at Mamdani, he's not the face, but that win can maybe bring some eyes to the Progressive Party and say, look, maybe it's time for progressives to build up. If MAGA, which in my mind, in my opinion, I look at it as the progressive right, the progressive left needs to say, well, let's meet with them neck and neck, huh? Let's meet with it at the same time. So I wanted to play that video for you all because every day there's something new. Every day there's a new statistic. Every day there's a new demographic of who's leaning more, who and where, and this and that and the other. Now they're targeting young women. Young women are more left. Young women are this young, and they could be. They could be. I really. I would have to reach out to a bunch of younger women and be like, hey, look, what's your political opinion on why do you lean this way? Why do you lean this way? And it's interesting. It's interesting. I'm curious to ask, but yes. So let me go ahead. Let's see. I'm looking at my time. Let's go ahead and continue the convo. We're sticking in politics more here. So in my home state of Virginia, former Congresswoman Elaine Luria, who she also served on the January 6th committee, has announced that she is ready to come back and come back into politics, but as to enter back in Congress. She wants to make a run for Virginia's second seat, district. I guess districts. Yeah, District 2, Virginia second district, congressional seat that's currently being held by Jen Kiggins. Republican Jen Kiggins, had beat Elaine Luria a couple times. It was 2 terms ago, because this is Jen Kiggins, I believe, second term. Her last election, she beat Democratic Missy Cotter Schmazel. Apologize if I'm mispronouncing that last name. It was a difficult last name. But long story short, Jen Kiggins won her second term, and the first time she was a state senator, and then she had ran against Elaine Luria, who was a popular, Democrat at the time, moderate. She was a member of the January 6th committee, and so that got her a lot of national attention and stuff like that. But she came up short in the election. But she is making a comeback. I actually had the opportunity of meeting her twice. Came very close to interviewing her, but we were in the same room. I think matter of fact, her last interview before election day, I was in the station with her. I was hanging with my mentor, one of my mentors in radio at the time, who had the opportunity to interview her. And so it was interesting. It was interesting. Let me fast forward this and read you this article reported by the Associated Press. It says here, Virginia Democrat who helped investigate the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol is making a comeback bid. Recently, after the sweeping election wins, after her party looks to break President Donald Trump's grip on federal power in 2026 midterms. Now, former U.S. Representative Elaine Luria, a military veteran who co-presented the January 6th Select Committee's findings after Trump's first term, told the Associated Press that she will seek the Democratic nomination in Virginia's 2nd Congressional District. Her bid sets up a potential rematch with Republican Representative Jennifer Kiggins, another military veteran who ousted her in 2022. The Hampton Roads District, racially diverse and with a notable military population, is among the several dozen nationally that will determine House control. Luria's candidacy is particular highlights what's at stake. Sorry guys, I cannot talk right now. What's at stake for Democrats' overall identity and for Trump in the final years of his second term in the White House. Now, the country, Luria said in an interview, in very tense times with a leader who I think really is not much of a leader at all and very untrustworthy. Not against that. The 50-year-old Naval Academy graduate pledged to improve economic opportunities and work with anyone on Capitol Hill, but she offered no apology for her desire to hold Trump accountable. That includes her role investigating Trump and his supporters who ransacked the Capitol and tried to help the Republican president overturn his 2020 loss to Democrat Joe Biden. Let me pause right there because I hear this a lot from voters from all sides of the aisle. There's some folks that are just driven to take Trump down. They don't, whether they're on the, you have voters that just do not like Donald Trump, don't like if they want to see him go down 24/7. They could ignore. They basically every time they encounter a elected official, they're like, how are you going to bring Trump down? How are you going to bring Trump? That's like the new thing now. That helps folks now win elections sometimes. Now, well, let me backtrack that. There was a period where folks that were so gun-ho on taking Trump down, it was a winning strategy. Now, it's not the only strategy. So if that's the only thing you talk about, that's really not going to win you elections. Okay? Some folks get tired of y'all just continue to talk about, I'm going to do this because Trump does this, Trump does, and we're going to take Trump down. But some folks are going to be like, well, what are you going to do for my community? What are you going to do here? You're representing Virginia. What are you going to do that's going to benefit Virginia? So I get it. She can easily say, hey, look, this administration currently is really causing a lot of havoc. You need someone like me who's already been on the side of pressing and speaking truth to power, this and any other, because she can say like that. But January 6th is not going to go anywhere. That's, in my opinion, January 6th is another 9/11. It's another Pearl Harbor. It is another historic disaster moment that happened in our time here. Okay. Now, my thing is, what's going to be the new Elaine Luria, right? What's going to be different from when she previously was in office to now, because she lost. So it was something that wasn't winning for her. So what changed, right? What is going to be the new winning strategy for her? I'm curious. I'm very curious to see, and I'm going to be reaching out to the team because actually I saw her recently during one of the Spamberger and Obama rally that was in Norfolk. She was in attendance along with the former Governor Ralph Northam, and but I did not think to say, oh, maybe she's making a comeback. That's why she's coming out publicly like that. I just assumed that, hey, she's a former elected official. She's coming here to support it and say, hey, Mr. Hey, like I didn't know. Going back to this article here, I quote, she says, people said to me at the time, you might not get reelected. Luria, who twice voted to impeach Trump and publicly detailed the 187 minutes, the 187 minutes Trump made no public statement to stop the riots. She said, I said, I don't care. Essentially, I'm doing the right thing. The American people need to know what happened that day. Trump has said the sentences handed down to his supporters for their actions on January 6, 2021 were ridiculous and excessive, and has defended his decision to grant clemency to people convicted of assaulting police officers during the attack. First and foremost, that still blows my mind, the fact that he pardoned 1,500, close to 1,500 or a little bit over 1,500 folks who stormed the Capitol, damaged government property, injured security law enforcement officers, and Trump says, well, they were protesting for me. They didn't really break the law. They should be pardoned. Guess what, y'all? Some of those folks that got pardoned, they broke the law again. Why? Because they criminals. Criminals gonna do criminal things. That's why the fact that they got pardoned, it's like, okay, so they can break the law as long as it's in the name of Trump, right? Come on, dude. It's that, and you know what? Spare me those folks that will say, that was all a scam, right? That was all that was rigged, right? There was some inside help that got them in. And I will say this, okay, you're telling me that somebody was working from the inside, let everybody in. Did they also tell them to break the windows to get into? Because I saw folks breaking windows. I saw folks climbing over walls. People still entered in. People still broke in. People still was climbing walls like they were freaking Planet of the Apes. All right? Like it still to this day, I cannot believe witnessing that in live, just in real time. Oh my goodness gracious. As Luria's first congressional campaign did in 2018, her announcement boosts Democrats who wanted center-left candidates to run in competitive districts. Figures like the House freshman classmates Abigail Spanberger and Mikey Sherrill, who just won gubernatorial races in Virginia and New Jersey, respectively. The Democratic Party sweep in Virginia, Luria told the Associated Press, definitely showed enthusiasm and support for the policies and the values that I represented. She stopped short of taking sides in the intra-party tussle between center-left moderates and progressives, like New York Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani, a Democratic socialist. The right kind of profile for Democrats is someone who can speak to and match the interests of their district. All right. I could care less who the mayor of New York City is. Great response. But let's stop skipping over answers there, Congresswoman. They're not talking about you just caring about the elected official there. They're talking about the new Democratic Party. They're pushing to say, okay, what's a winning strategy? Is moderate Democrats a winning strategy? Is center left a winning strategy? That's the main thing. Because see, those diehard Democrats out there, they feel lost. They're lost right now. You got some contemplating on leaving your party. You got some contemplating on, like, when will we ever win an election? When will we ever see hope? Right? When we ever witness a primary on a larger scale? You know what I mean? Like, it's interesting. It is very interesting. I cannot. It's just I can't even see myself being involved in any party. I've already told you, put me in the independent party. Now I've shared you my thoughts on the administration and the leader that we have leading us right now, but I've also shared my thoughts on the leadership on the left. And if you think that your strategy in 2018 will win you back in office, you got a long thing coming there, Congresswoman. You have to revamp yourself. You have to realize that people want new leadership. They want a new face. They want a new slogan for the Democrat Party. They want that toughness. They want that grit. They don't want that cookie cutter BS anymore. They don't. Looking at my time here, y'all. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. I have nothing else to say in regards to this story about former Congresswoman Elaine Luria making a political comeback, running for her old seat in Congress. Y'all, look, we're gonna be right back. We'll have more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
Our risk from injury from a fall or car crash increases as we age. But getting older doesn't have to mean giving up on the activities you love. Take simple steps to avoid injuries, like doing activities that improve strength and balance. Get yearly eye and wellness exams, and talk to your doctor or pharmacist about the medicines you take. Also, tell your doctor if you've fallen or worry about falling. Learn more about aging without injury at cdc.gov/stillgoingstrong.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Check this out. Imagine. Well, actually, I'll ask you this question. Have y'all ever fallen asleep at work before? Have y'all ever dozed off and was like, I'm here. You know, by a show of hands. Well, I can't really see all your hands, but I'm just curious. Have y'all ever, went to sleep at work? Well, I'll say it like this. Have you ever driven a car and dozed off? Well, this person in San Francisco, who is a Muni driver, falls asleep as a speeding train tosses screaming riders. Riders are literally like, "Oh, what happened?" And I'm just like, "Yo, you got to do better." Well, look, let me just play you a little bit of soundbite of this, and we'll chop it up about it. I'm looking at my time, so we don't have too much time, but we'll talk about it.
And Millie.
I'm sorry. Relax. Stop. We didn't crash. Relax. It wouldn't stop. Relax. We're okay. It just wouldn't stop. It wouldn't stop. It would not stop. The emergency brake wouldn't even hit. Look, it's on. It wouldn't even stop. I don't know what happened. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to ask them to check the train, okay? Can we get up? I didn't even know the agenda. You guys need to get off. 1 second. I'll take it off. I'm trying when I'm wow. We have to get off. I don't think it might be. Slide. Come on. Slide. I couldn't stop it. No, but I was trying to slow it down. I don't know what something out on the track. I know it's right. It wouldn't stop, and then I'm trying to slow it down, and I'm getting the track break, and I don't know. It didn't show that to them. That's why then I let the next room because the local was quiet. Yeah. And when I was trying to slow it down, coming off the railway, and then it was like I wasn't slowing, and I'm trying to slow it down, and then I put it all the way back, and then I'll get the track break. And then when it slowed down, when we were coming out, I was
Okay, so you heard.
Yeah, but it went. It's like when I was coming off the subway. That's why when I came down, I had to let everybody out of there because they were nervous. I'm like, calm down.
First of all, ma'am, you got caught. So shame on you for over here giving folks attitude because they were panicking, thinking that was going to be the end of them. This person driving this vehicle filled with multiple pedestrians that are not in a seatbelt. So she was the only one that had a pretty safe kind of seat. But if that thing messes up, all that's on her. And though she turns around giving them attitude, calm down. You see your son with the brake hat, and she already thought of that lie quick. So which tells me this probably wasn't her first time falling asleep behind the wheel. All right. She's over here saying, so this thing kept on X, Y, and Z, and it wouldn't stop. And I'm just like, what in the world? And I'm telling them to calm down because they over here panicking. Obviously, she's not good at her job because she don't think that cameras are in her, her line of work. Like the eye in the sky don't lie. My dad used to tell me that the eye in the sky don't lie. It was a football terminology he used to tell me, meaning that when they videotape a game or practice, someone's always watching. Whether if you keep hustling or they see improvement, they're good at eye in the sky don't lie. If you say you made a good play and it turned out to be a bad play, they're gonna be like, well, look, you said you made it good, but we see it was a bad play. It's just the eye in the sky don't lie. And in this case, this lady flat out was making a lie, thinking she was playing victim, but at the end of the day, she went to sleep on the job. Man, take ownership of your wrongdoing. And y'all, we have to do that everywhere we go. Take ownership. Stop making up these lies. And look, you made a mistake. Now I get it. She's not trying to lose her job. No one is. And I hope she did. I'm not the person to say, hey, look, she should be let go X, Y, and Z because of what she did. All I'm saying is that maybe some kind of punishment should come there. And she needs to think of what she did. But y'all, she was wrong for playing like the victim, in my opinion, because she really could have ended up really bad for her, and folks could have got seriously hurt. But I'm glad they did not. All right, I'm glad they did not, and I hope this person learned her lesson. I'm looking at my time here, so I don't know if she was suspended or let go, but I'll talk about it more on the next episode here. But until next time, my friends, look, y'all take care. Y'all continue to stay safe, stay informed, and continue to support the Arrington Gavin Show, by the way. Weeknights available on all digital and streaming platforms. Peace and blessings. I'll see you next time for another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.